Good evening, everybody. Everyone, this is September the 2nd, 2025. Welcome back to we've been on a little bit of a hiatus over the summer. I hope everybody had a nice summer. But we are back through June of 2026 here. I think we'll have the same code for the meeting, but we'll see. I don't think we did that just yet. So stay tuned with me on that one. We are going to start this year kind of how we ended up, and I was very proud that we were able to just kind of keep us in the timeline of having an hour meeting, and we'll just talk about the rest later at any point in time. Um, there are to just kind of start us off. Um, I want to say hi, Miss Bronzella. Thank you for joining me. Angie, it's good to see you. Um, and starting off with business, hi, Sean. And I wanted to start off and say that Edmondson Heights will be working with, there's a new school community resources officer that we'll be working with Edmondson Heights School, and her name is Miss Stephanie Wimbish. I think it's Bish. It's Wimbish. I think it's possible that it's Wimbish, but I got Wimbish. Um, we will we should start working with her again very soon. Um, One of the things that's going to take more time, I just want to do this one now. And I had communication with, I told you guys a couple of times last year that Edmondson Heights needed an attorney. And in order to just kind of, I know you guys are tired with the covenant violations going on around here. So am I. It's taken some doing. Letters have gone out, first and second notifications that, hey, you have a violation that we would like for you to complete. We would like for you to fix. That's also included me having to do um, some detective work. It's not in hunting down people's deeds for their properties, just to say, yes, this is where, and a lot of people say, where did I sign up? What can you show me where I signed to say that I'm a part of this? I'll get to the how we're a part of this later, but it has required, it's forced me to pull up deeds and read through things, and it seems as though that's easier than kind of arguing back and forth and saying yes, no, and then, hey, who's your realtor, who's your title company? It just seems easier to do that, and trust me, it's not very easy at all. um the attorney that checked us out was I think it was Miss Diane Khan, her agency. First, she said that we had too much stuff going on for her firm to take us on. But because, as you guys may or may not know, we are 1,010 properties deep here, and we have our guidelines. We have a lot of documents that need to be amended. We have covenant violations. We have late dues. We have several documents that need to start being updated. And I don't know if she thought we were going to need them to send out letters and notifications about violations, which we could have, I'm not sure. But she said her firm, we had too much and they didn't have the capacity to take us on. Um, she didn't leave us empty handed. She left me, and my plan is to have us upload this document between her and I, this email, have it uploaded on probably our Facebook page. Not, our Facebook page, but also on our web page, because I think that would answer a lot of questions for people who don't know that they have those questions yet. We have our guidelines. We have all of our declaration, our paperwork, all of that is on our web page, which should be enough for some people, and it may actually be for them to know that we are mandatory. We come with the land. So whereas people want to know, are not quite sure how they're a part of this association. If your house is on this land, you are a part of the association. And there's parameters that are set up. I think that's already on the page, on our web page. But the attorney, she acknowledged them. She acknowledged that we are mandatory, which is good for being, if we're going to put this documentation out for others to see. We are mandatory. We are legally binding. It does not matter if homeowners knew or were told by their title company or realtor about us. It doesn't leave them exempt. Your house comes with the property. She also, yes, it comes with the land. Yes, I'm ahead of myself. I'm sorry. She did make the suggestions that we have got to. The plan is to start on. We have a board meeting coming up later this week, and just to discuss where we move, how we move forward with the recommendations that we made. And a couple of recommendations was that we modernize the enforcement policy on the code violations. And I've looked through past records that I have here at my home, and I don't see the procedure. First notification, second notification, I don't see where we have that in writing. And it may be possible that instead of just looking through paperwork hidden and unhidden, that it may be easier to just kind of put something together. That's the next step that we have to take um, before we pay a dime to an attorney again, before we pay a dime to an attorney. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, it's a little bitty funny story to me that we used to have an attorney. This was before me. It could have even been after me a little bit, but we had an attorney. And after I took office here and I didn't get in touch with him for a while, I kind of did some research to see who I would be talking to when I did reach out to him. And what I found was not something that I think either he or I would be comfortable with. He may have been comfortable with the previous president, but I don't think I wouldn't have been comfortable with him. And I don't think he would have been as comfortable with me. Angie, stop. Um, that's the nicest way I could say that. There are lines to be read between there. But it is important that whoever we get, and I do have someone that I spoke to before, Miss Khan, and I think I'm just going to go back to him. He is his name is Todd Heiss. I think that's how it is said, and he used to be a resident of Edmondson Heights when he was a little boy. So we've got to send him paperwork, but before we do anything, we have to get records of how we plan to do the notifications. And she suggested that we make notifications public, which is good because I was going to do that in this next newsletter. After this meeting, I can do the rest of the newsletter. So we make those. I think when we litigated against a resident, I think that used to be, I know it used to be in the newsletter, and they would put the outcome and they would put the official document in there. And since I've been on, we haven't litigated against anyone. There's been so much more to do. But believe me, I've threatened a lot of people, just so you know. I've threatened, and some things have worked out a little bit. I do have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. It was, yes, modernize the enforcement. This is what she suggested. Modernize the enforcement policy on the buyer's knowledge of the procedure that we use, and which is what I just said, just those notifications. How do we notify them? So we've got to, if anyone has any suggestions, I'm good with that. Also, one of my notification procedures was to put it in the newsletter. And maybe we just have a couple of pages, a page of people who've been notified. So even if you don't get the letter, you may have read the newspaper, you may have read the newsletter, and then that second notification, I've done a couple of warnings. It's been a lot. What I have done is take that and get a template made. So this way I just have to fill in a little bit of the information. And even that can be created into something that's done a little bit faster. Doing mail merges. Making the community aware of the enforcements to litigate against residents that we filed complaints against. So that is where we go, and we just may put it in the newsletter that we're seeking litigation with someone. There has to be a record, a public record of it. So that would be a part of what we do. As I said before, the document with the suggestions and our weak points and our strong points, I will make that available probably first, mainly in the Facebook group first. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, please do so. Please answer the questions. It's not hard. It's for I'm sorry. It's for it's just to make sure that we let neighbors in. We let neighbors and stakeholders in, not just anybody who's going to come in and try to steal your information or come in and try to sell us things. So it really is just answering the questions. If we don't see that you live here, we can't let you into the Facebook group. And since you're here, I probably already have your email address. So that's another way. If you would like to see this documentation, well, it's an email. It's a really long email. If you'd like to see that before I add it to the Facebook group, let me know. Just like you do with everything else. And as I said before, at this point, I just kind of wrote a bunch of stuff that I memorized, but the Board of Governors for Edmondson Heights will get together this Thursday and discuss this. And that is it for that one. Any questions so far? Okay, I'm good
I
with
do
it.
have it's not a question. It's more of a statement just to piggyback off of the Facebook. Make sure that you're answering the questions, and if you're in there, I'm not quite sure why a couple people want to do this, but posting anonymously. If you're in there as a group and you're in the neighborhood and you're trying to get assistance with something or find a lost puppy, dog, whatever the situation may be, why would you want to post anonymously? So I have rejected a couple. For one, they didn't answer the questions, and two, they wanted to post anonymously in our neighborhood Facebook, which would contradict what we're actually trying to do as a neighborhood. So if you really don't want to put your question or get a response in there, send it to either Jaquista or myself, and we can handle it that way. But if you're trying to post anonymously, I will reject it if I actually see it.
Well said. We also, I'm not on the Facebook as much, in the Facebook group as much as I usually am. I'm usually sitting here, and if I'm on Facebook, I'm watching reels. But if there's a question that you have that Angela and I haven't answered in the Facebook group, our email information is right there. It's not a problem. I'll take that to the question about getting permission to use different properties, areas in Edmondson Heights for maybe the park It's giving correct. It's Parks and Recreation who can give you a permit to use the park. We're the Western branch of Parks and Recreation. And then we have a few people who have, Angie, am I right about, do we know if it's still Candace Goodwin?
So it is still Candace Goodwin. So I did some research today. So we do have a new supervisor that's working, um, that's managing our group. So we're actually in what they consider the southwestern zone. And they do have, according to what Candace told me today, there were two parks that were groups that were merged into one. So she's actually managing those. So I was trying to get a viable response back for permits and approvals to host events in those spaces, but you do need a permit. So I'm still doing some legwork with that so I can get that information out because I was if you're responding or try to respond to the young lady that was actually on Facebook, I was still trying to get that. I was hoping that she would actually be in the meeting so I could relay that to her. It would be best if questions like that directly that she really needed a response to, that she could reach out to either one of us and we'll try to do that legwork on the back end. But I haven't spoke to the supervisor, but I did speak to the vaguely spoke to the coordinator, so I'll finish the conversation with him. And his name is Lenny Camper. I know probably not pronouncing that right, but I'm assuming that he's new. The supervisor I have not spoke with. She was in the chain. The coordinator, supervisor, and Candace was still in the chain. So to answer your question, yes, she is still working along with us. And then it was another park that was merged under us. So if you're thinking about hosting, we do need to make sure that you get the proper approval and permits before you host anything. There was an incident where someone actually put out a grill and was doing some type of hosting of an event up on the new field of Triangle, which is not permitted without a permit. And the fact that you had a grill out and you were grilling in that area, which we all have backyards and they could have very well hosted it in their backyard, but some of the neighbors that was concerned upon the Newfield Triangle did reach out to me. So please don't host on the Newfield Strip, on the Newfield Triangle, Hallwell Strip, or within the park without getting proper permits and approvals because it then falls back on us as a community of not notifying you guys that you should. And I don't understand why anyone would want to host without getting proper approval or permits, but someone did. And I'm still trying to get the response back from that. So if that young lady could hang tight for a little bit, we could get her an appropriate response before anyone else does any unillicit posting on those green spaces that do not belong to us, but they are in public areas. So
And we
hope I
do, punishment would come, we would see punishment, or we would get our fingers wagged at us, and you guys probably wouldn't, and I'm sure you're okay with that. Aside from, and it, under the title of funny but not funny at the same time, we had I think most recently was the party in the Newfield Triangle. I'm not sure if anything's been held. We didn't host National Night Out this year, so we didn't do it in the park, nor did we do it at the elementary school. We didn't. We needed that break. Um, there was on the in the parking lot of the elementary school parking ground. It was very busy this summer. It it was very busy. Um, that
Jaquita,
area,
Jaquita,
yes,
yes,
yeah.
I posted that I had a question. Good evening, everyone, regarding that. And I'm glad you mentioned that it was very busy. not only was it busy, but it was extremely trash filled. And I noticed that a lot of times when the baseball teams are down at the field, they do not clean up behind themselves. So if you have to get a permit to be down, does the baseball team have to have a permit to play baseball down there?
Yes, they do. So
Okay.
they have to, they literally have to request that particular space through a website.
Okay.
So if
So,
they're requesting it through a website and you would happen to see it, what I would do is take pictures as evidence, and we could submit it in for them not
to
cleaning up
allow them,
behind themselves. Right,
okay, okay,
because for us when we're hosting, we literally have to get permission for us to be up there for dumpster day, and that has to go through the school, and then we will get the backlash if someone has a event prior to us. We have to do it at least once or twice, come up and clean up the actual school parking lot before we actually hosted dumpster day. So yes, when those individuals are requesting to be on that for the basketball and for the baseball diamond, they literally have to put in a permit to
okay.
get access to it, and they should be cleaning up their trash and using the recycles. I'm quite sure they're going to use the school recycles, but they should be cleaning up their trash, and it should be associated with either a person, a point of contact, or an organization.
Okay. So what I was going to circle back to is if Edmondson Heights, I'm not sure because that is a part of this community, and it reflects how clean this community is. So if they have to have permits, do you all not get a list and dates of when certain activities are being held at that field so that,
No, nope, because it's not managed by us at all.
okay, okay,
It's not managed by us, but for us, what we do is we will get the backlash from it because it's literally in our community. So people will think it's associated with us, and we have the authority to approve and to deny, which we don't. It goes through that, and I'm at a loss for what the actual website is, but it is a physical website where they actually have to go in, and the individuals that is um monitoring that website should be notified that the individuals that are renting or requesting that space are not utilizing it and follow the guidelines with actually picking up the trash. And I think on one instance, it was something that I'm not quite sure whether or not the police had to be called out or something happened while someone else was hosting it. So whomever's in charge of that need to be notified, because it is a reflection of the community, but not of the association, because we do not manage it. We don't have the authority to approve or to deny or to monitor how they give the permits out to utilize that space at all.
okay. So can you all post in the chat who to contact in the event that there is activity or functions that are happening at the permit so that pictures can be taken and it can be sent to that direct person or office, or are we sending it to you two young ladies?
Okay, so I would say for right now, you can send it to us, and we can do some research on who's actually responsible for it, because it actually goes into the system. So how it happens is you search the baseball diamond, and once you located, you put in the information of what you want to host there, and then it goes off to a individual, and they will respond back to you. What we may not have access to is whom it's going directly to, but I can try to do some research with inside that the system to see who's actually managing the system itself, and then who it actually goes off to the POCs, if that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I just put,
You're welcome.
it's Baltimore County Public Schools Facility Management. I just put it in the chat, the webpage in the chat. It is The name of the person used to be here. I don't see it, but it is on the first page, and I'm just trying to, we, like she said, we have to, when we want to do dumpster day, or we want to use the parking lot, to use the parking lot, we have to use this website and ask for permission. And you need, I want to say up to 45 days before they get back to you, to get permission and everything. So it's, yeah, it's a thing. There have been, and I see that we have, it is Stephanie Wimbish. You don't have to come on camera, Stephanie, but welcome. We look forward to working with you, you and continuing working with the school. But we have different things that go on, anything that we need to attempt to do in the community. If there's green space, we have to get permits. What's weird about that is once we get the pictures, let's say there's pictures, who is the person who's hosting the event? The police would have to, if we want to call the police don't know. I don't think there's a way to know if this is permitted. They should have a permit with them, now that I think about it, but I also think that sometimes it's low on the priorities of the police. It not me speaking for you guys, but I'm sorry. It's something that's been happening almost every weekend of the summer. And it's, I come through there on the way home while walking my dog at night through the neighborhood. And it's been something almost every weekend. There was a weekend event where there was music and we could hear it all the way up the street. And there was plates being passed out. There was trash being left everywhere. There was a man using the area between the dumpsters as his own personal facilities. I'm using better words now. Was, yeah, it was a lot. And initially it starts out with maybe teenagers in the evenings, and they get together and they just kind of, and they probably do just throw their stuff out. They don't care. We've wanted to, or I've thought of putting some sort of signs, just kind of asking, can you please respect our neighborhood? And we'll get with the elementary school if that's something that we think is doable. There's been there's been video shoots out there. There's been dice a lot, and something that has older guys and younger guys, and I don't want to know what that is. Just I try to, even though I'm walking, I have this huge dog. We're not getting anywhere near that. The fireworks at the school ground was annoying. At best, it was annoying.
But the
And
trash, after the fire, that was probably what really made me bring, would
yeah,
open my eyes to how much trash is down there. That 4th of July function
yeah,
they had down there. It was, that was the worst. I've never seen such mess down there. I mean, they really tore up that whole parking lot, school grounds, everything. That was horrible. So can there be a sign posted that says, if you want to have a function here on this facility, a permit is required, or law enforcement will be contacted? Because some people might not know. They may think, oh, okay, this is a school is closed, it's space, I can use it. Sometimes when you don't know, you'll just go ahead and assume that this is free because it's a parking lot, it's space, you can freely play basketball at the basketball court, without an issue. So maybe a sign for those who do not live in the community, because I'm quite sure a lot of times those people that are there don't really live in the community. They may just see that space and take advantage of that space. Or you could have people that do live in the community to say, hey, you can throw a party down here at the school because there is nobody occupying that space and you got carte blanche,
Mm,
so that's where I think that people need to be educated. And
yeah,
that's where I think that a sign should be set, because who wants to set up a whole entire cookout or party and decorate and then the police come and tell you shut it down, you got to go. And that's because you don't know any better. So perhaps a sign somewhere posted in certain areas can let folks know that you cannot just come here and throw a party because this is a permitted area. And not only that, it's a goddamn school. Okay, let's
yeah,
start and finish there.
yeah. I don't know if anybody called the police, Officer Benz Clark. I've called the police plenty this summer. I'm not proud of everything I called on, but there's no way someone didn't.
So,
Also, there was there was something that happened maybe the week before last, and the police was called and never showed up. So I sent an email to Lieutenant Joshua. I know a lot of Joshua, so Lieutenant Joshua.
I
I
know who you're
did
talking about.
I did send an email to him about it. But yeah, that people were saying that someone was hurt, and it took the paramedics at least an hour to get there, but police never showed up.
Jaquista, this is Margaret. Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. My question is, now you guys are talking about the large gatherings. Are you talking about both places in the park and at the school, two separate where you would want signs posted?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I need to
And,
know.
and there's the triangle that's near you.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
that as well. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, sounds good. So I took notes to get that question answered for the future, okay? I'll get
okay.
back to you.
Thank
And
you.
in reference to when you said the paramedic showed, but the police didn't. Once the medic showed, they probably said police wasn't needed, and we did respond out because there's some things that when there's an injury that we aren't needed for.
Okay. Okay. It was somebody jumping from a second story window. I don't know. Yeah, we're reaching out to the homeowner about there's a property that people are entering, and I
Oh, this is at a
don't.
house. I'm thinking you're still talking about the schoolyard.
This was at a house. Someone
Okay.
someone enters this property. They jump. Well, they get in through the second. I guess there's a balcony in the back. So the balcony's upstairs. They get in through there, the patio, which I think there's been more police presence there than the community than the neighbors who live next door would like. So I'm reaching out to the homeowner who does not live there to say, I think I'm just gonna continue to send letters until they take actions. But yeah, this was someone falling from, yeah. I think they were doing something they didn't have any business doing, and either trying to get in the house or get out, and fail. So
And that would it definitely, if they say they fell, then that might also be a reason because we don't always come with a fall. It's an accidental fall.
okay, okay, yeah, that was unclear. While I have you, do you know? Is there any information on the FBI's presence on Clare Ridge week before, last week, I think.
So I did check your calls for service today before around 5, and I didn't see any major calls. I actually saw a fraud, and that's what I was going to give out. remind you guys of some tips to protect you from fraud. But I didn't see anything of major that I would think the FBI would be on. But also sometimes when people are doing investigations, it's not always broadcasted.
Absolutely.
I thought something similar. Yeah, they said SWAT team. They said there was a SWAT team, and yeah, so that was pretty big. We have one of those, I think, once a year or once every other year, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, that's go ahead and you have your tips for fraud. Well, we have you and don't want to hold you.
Okay, I just want to remind everybody to guard your personal information. If you're called and said somebody wants to know your personal information, always make sure that you know who you're speaking to and never just give out your personal information. Remember when you're ordering online to order from trusted websites. Make sure you have that little lock key up at the top. Use your credit card. If you're buying something from Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, always make sure that you're exchanging or purchasing said items in a public place, maybe even a police parking lot. Don't give people money or deposit for something without getting a contract or receipt. And don't buy from people that you don't know. If you think it's suspicious, trust your intuition and look for another place to purchase what you need. Don't leave your personal information or your credit cards out in visible places where people can just skim your card or write your number down. Just protect your personal information and credit card information. And I will
Okay.
send you these tips tomorrow in an email, and maybe you can add them to your newsletter or something.
I got the space, I promise. Thank you. Also, we've had a couple of people complain about, well, I'm not gonna say complain about a couple things, but it's implied. I'm going to reach out and see if any of you are interested again in being introduced to Citizens on Patrol for Edmondson Heights. We could do it. There's a lot of ways we can do it, but we need you guys to be interested. I'll get back to you guys. We'll by the next meeting. And I think next the fall and winter season is a really good time to get going. If we're gonna get going, that's up to you guys. But I will provide information again about Citizens on Patrol.
One more thing, Jaquita. I forgot to mention that we will be doing our annual truck or treat. I think this will be our 5th year annual truck or treat. It will be October the 23rd at the substation, 9428 Liberty Road. And we are taking donations for candy if you guys would like to contribute.
Thank you. Okay. And you guys, if you have kids, grandkids, godkids, you got kids that want to go, I think there may be, she may be gone, but that's okay. We can find out next year. There may be a trunk or treat. Well, I think they call it a fall festival at the elementary school, and all are welcome to that also. So
She would like to talk to us.
sorry. There'll be donations that can be made to that, but it is also open to everyone. Stephanie, you are here. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want, but do you know, are you guys planning a trunk or treat yet?
Hi, good evening. How are you? Yes, we are. Our trunk or treat, and I want to make sure I give you the accurate date. Will be October 30th, actually, that Tuesday. And we'll send out more information just with the time for you all.
Okay. If I'm going to email you so that you have my email information. If there's time, hopefully there probably is, we can put that in a newsletter for you also. We are, I'm not sure, I don't think it's you that we talked to about this, but we've been waiting on information about, we want to donate a pet waste station to the elementary school. And it was the principal who said that a lot of names to remember, that the public school system may want to put that up themselves. So that is, so if you can find that out. There's me and there's Angela Lloyd, who you'll be working with.
Okay. All right. I'll definitely, nice to meet you. I'll definitely take that
Nice
to
to
Miss
meet you.
Lundy.
Okay, thank you. Do
So am
you
I assuming she's working with Shauna, or she's taking over where Shauna left?
I am taking over where Shauna left off.
Okay, nice to meet you,
Nice
Stephanie.
to meet you as well.
see where we are here? But yeah, that is that. We have a couple of events to report to you guys. We have Dumpster Day, October 25th. You will know ahead of time. We have another one on April 25th. You'll definitely know ahead of time of that one, but we do have it. We do have them already scheduled, and they should be from 8 to noon or 8 to 1. You'll know, but if you get there at 12 and we let you in, then there we go. But it's good. As we always say on everything, we will ask you if you want to take the opportunity to pay your dues. You may have already paid them. It's not forced. It's just giving you an opportunity to pay them if you want to. We also have, and we also have to get permission for this one. We have a gardening event. Kind of, it won't make up for not having National Night Out, but you guys wouldn't come anyway. So we have a gardening event coming up. It is scheduled for October the 11th. Don't make me lie to you about the time, but I think I said 1 o'clock. And we have a young lady who is considered a master gardener. I can't even do this because it's not that she's a master gardener, and she represents this side of town. And this is the event where she'll be teaching about what you have in your yard and what's invasive and what's native to Maryland. We'll also have some sort of planting, just something for you to plant and take with you. I don't think I've worked that out yet. Maybe I have. It was a really good meeting. But yeah, there will be it, yeah, October the 11th. And my hope is to do it on, I'm calling it the sunset side of the neighborhood, and under the trees in a nice little, it should be a cool area. We have to go to the tool bank to get kind of seating and just a place so that we can offer you guys the opportunity to come sit, do whatever this is, and it should be good. We will ask you to let us know ahead of time, because as you may know, we'll need to know how many people to get something for. We do not want to get more than more than we are asked to need, because that usually doesn't turn out well for us either. Um, we had last year's gardening event. We had a lot of stuff left over and just kind of went around. Oh, by the way, if last year you ended up with plants on your porch, or that was us, we were just giving it away, and we saw people who had really nice gardens, and we figured you're gardeners, so we kind of dropped them off on people's porches. Yeah, gardening event, October the 11th. I'll let you guys know. I'll remind you at the next meeting we have, which is October the something. I'll tell you by the end of this meeting. I have to update everyone on the activities that we had with Be Green this summer, which is Baltimore Greater Be Green. It's a group that is all over Baltimore City, Baltimore County. Actually, some are outside of here. And they get together. We are part of them now and just kind of advocate for green spaces. And they are collectively who's helping out with our green spaces here. We have a grant that's been split into a couple of slices, and we're working. We have to do education, use it for education of the community and things that we can keep going, things that are sustainable. So one of the things we did want to try to use the grant for, which it may not be enough this year, is for the trees that are overgrown on the triangle, just to see if there's anything we can do about managing that. Once it's done, we have someone who's interested in keeping things maintained. The county said, no, we didn't plant those, so we are not going to. So that leaves it up to us. Back to this summer, we worked with, I think this is in the newsletter, so I'm sorry, but we worked with Neighborhood Design Center, and thank you to those who, again, who came out and did the community walk with us and looked at our spaces and gave your input on what you thought the community needed. Thank you to those who filled out the survey online that we sent out. What is it that you think the community needs? And what National Design Center did was they took that information, compiled it, and we get something to present to the county agencies to say, we've done the work. This is what we would like to, this is how we would like our community to turn out. I say on the other side of that, that we also need the community to make the community turn out to what we would like for it to be. We all want to live somewhere that's nice, somewhere that's safe-ish enough. Yeah, that thing too. We all want that. We have some people, yeah, who don't really care, but we'll work on them too. We do plan on doing a littering campaign, and sorry about that. Doing a littering campaign, and my thoughts already is that we'll do some stenciling that probably says keep Edmondson Heights beautiful, just in the, so that we can just kind of advocate for ourselves yet again. Another thing that is, let me rewind. We did the community walk. We'll get the report. The report will be made available to Edmondson Heights also. You guys can see what was discussed and what you guys thought and what we may be able to do at some point in time. We are working on getting pet waste stations. We have them. We have to get them put into the ground. And there's Newfield that asked for one a while ago. We do have it. We got to get it put into the ground. There will be at least one, probably both, at the park, on both sides of the park. We have but pet waste stations where the waste can be thrown away. There's bags that'll be provided. We'll hire someone to come and replace the bags, to kind of clean it up, to keep it from being just a mess. And yeah, we have 4. So we're hoping to put one at the school, because people walk their dogs there. That's just, it just happens. And the kids deserve better than to run around. You know where I'm going with this. Newfield Road, on that block where everyone has a sign that says, please pick up behind your dog. We hear you. Also, let's see, we had the community walk. I think we had 2 events this summer, but if you were there, you know. If you know, you know. I really am just trying to keep this close. There were letters that went out on Newfield and Granville roads. We had a problem. I don't know if someone can tell us how that seems to be going, or has the situation gotten better with the traffic cones. We did have to send Officer Benz Clark out there. We sent letters ahead of her. There were people that were new to the neighborhood, so I resent them a welcome packet letting them know you are a part of something that is bigger than yourself. Please behave accordingly. Hopefully the situation is, Angela, how's it on Granville?
The cones are still there. So one thing with the parking, the cones are one thing. And I think the other one is, and we're the only street that doesn't have houses on the opposite side, so it shouldn't be a major issue, but it is with individuals parking, taking up multiple spaces to hold a space for a family member that may have gone out on vacation to prevent someone else from parking in a space. So for us to be a street with no houses on the opposite side, but the park there, we have more parking than other streets around here, but we still seem to have individuals that want to do their own parking assignments for their address, which is inconsiderate to the individuals that are around, because I think we all would want to park in front of our homes, but we may not have the opportunity, but the audacity of you to park haphazardly, preventing someone else to park in front of their house because your family member is out on vacation and you're holding a spot. So the cones have not changed. And just to clarify, Officer Benz Clark, what is the fine amount? Is it 150 or 250?
The fine is $100, and I'll check Granville out tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that hasn't changed for Granville. So now I did get while I was checking in some of the dues, and a young lady sent in a notice directly to you saying that she didn't get a follow-up for this. I'm glad you brought that up so we can at least address it. So I just think for me, if you're sending in something specifically for us to address, to do a follow-up with us to make sure that we've gotten your request and that we're working on it so we can give us adequate enough time so we can give you guys a response back, because sometimes it takes a little bit for us to get in contact with those that are actually doing it, like getting approval to have things inside of our green spaces. And you were asking if the police were called for the Newfield Triangle. They were, and they did come out, and they said that it was nothing that they could do for that. So with us getting signs, and if we're getting signs for Newfield as well as around the school, one should be at the park, because they specifically was asking about Edmondson Heights Park, whether or not they can actually hold events there. So if it's on the exterior or the interior, because from my understanding, they still don't want us down inside of the park hosting. So
We're working on that also.
And in
So
regards to Newfield, I did take the notices out for the cones there, and I actually did Granville a while ago, and if that was before I did Newfield, and I checked and did a follow-up, and the day I checked there was no cones out. But Newfield has all the cones have pretty much been removed. It's only one cone, but that is like near a lady's car so that they know not to back up as close.
okay.
And it's not holding a parking spot. It's just to give space to the car that's parked behind it.
Okay, that sounds good. Miss Bronzella, did you guys need me to send letters? I know there was something that happened there on Langford.
I don't know what happened. But the cones are gone, except for all the way up the top of Langford. It's like, it's not a cone, it's like a chain on two, you know how they have the for banks, you know how they have the little
I've
posts.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up at top part of Langford, and it's always in the street.
Okay. I know exactly.
And it's
Okay.
like a red and white chain or rope or something up there. But other than that, the cones are gone.
Okay.
I'll
That
check it
sounds.
out tomorrow. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we are on it, and I did send letters out. If there's something else, anything within my power to do, I will do. Some things just have to look like I have a little power, but I help with anything that I can. I don't want to say, guys, my plate is full. It's full, but I try my best to get back to you. And I think some of you have my phone number is out there. So if you can't get me by email fast enough, because I take the weekends off from those sometimes, then you can reach me by my mobile. I want to ask if is there anything that you have for us, Fatima?
I'm here to listen. The only message Delegate McCaskill had, we don't have the entire list, but there are a lot of stores that's going to be impacted by SNAP cuts that's coming. In our district, we have over 51 just in 44B. And it includes gas stations, the grocery stores, and we just want people to be aware that it's going to be tough pretty soon.
What is in?
SNAP, Baltimore County, let me grab this. Baltimore County, just in 44B, we have over 4,300 people that will probably be cut by December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as people with ACA enrollment, that's the Affordable Care Insurance, 44B only, I don't know about A. We have over 900 residents just in the Catonsville, Edmondson Heights corridor that will be cut by December 31st. The state has a plan, but we don't have it yet, but she just wanted everybody to be aware. As far as the businesses that accept SNAP, and if people don't have SNAP available, that's gonna definitely impact our communities immediately. It's gonna be from Dollar Tree, Aldi's, Lidl's, grocery stores, Royal Farms, 7-Eleven. Most of the stores that we see often driving through the community that accept SNAP. They will still accept it, it's just people probably won't have it.
Okay.
So once we get something written up, you're welcome, about the budget cuts, we'll definitely share it with the community, and we'll work with Margaret and Councilman Young's office to just try to make everybody aware of what's gonna be happening.
Okay.
The governor does have protections, but I don't know how the disenrollment is gonna go out, and that's the part that, they're hesitant on of how to get it out, because we don't want to tell people it's gonna happen and then it may not. But right now, December 31st, we have those numbers of people in our community. These are our neighbors that are going to be affected. Mostly it's going to be seniors and children that are affected. Working adults will come next.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you and Delegate McCaskill. Send her our best.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry she couldn't make it. They actually have a district meeting this evening, and we also have Senator Sitton's office. But if you have any questions, please email our office and we'll try to get the answers for you. We might not know right away, but we'll definitely work on trying to get this out because we're gonna probably be having to help more in the communities.
Thank you to you both. Give her
Thank you.
All right.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I have a problem with someone across the street from me. I don't think they're homeowners. I think they're renters. When she gets in her car, she puts trash out, just throw trash out her window and drive on. Is it anything can be done about that?
I can.
She'll throw out McDonald's bags, cups, whatever. You know, is there anything that can be done about that?
I can send to everyone on that side,
Okay.
asking them not to.
Okay.
That way I'm
Because
not.
it's quite annoying. And one person, she goes out and try to pick it up and everything. And I told her, I said, put it back on her porch. You know, that's where it came. Well, it didn't come from her porch, but it came from the house that she's living in. I don't think they're homeowners. I think it's more than, I think it's a group home. I have no idea what it is.
Okay. Okay. I'm on it.
Okay.
Okay. Senator Sidwell's office.
Good.
It's Senator Sidnor's office.
Right, it's Senator Charles Sidnor's office, and I'm going to apologize in advance that my camera is off. My niece is doing an evening class at college, and she has taken over my office space. And so I'm trying to support her by not kicking her out of my office as she completes her homework tonight. But I did want to just, first of all, just introduce myself. I am Lisa Dingle. I am the new Chief of Staff for Senator Charles Sidnor. I started on July 1. Unfortunately, our Gene Clark, who you may have known, has passed. And so may he rest in peace. He was an amazing mentor to me for probably, I met him in college and I'm 56. So I've known him for probably close to 40 years. And so he is dearly missed, but it is an honor to try to walk in his shoes. I know I have big shoes to fill. So I wanted to make sure I hopped on this meeting this evening. And the first thing that I wanted to share with you is that right now, the Baltimore County Council is in the process of redistricting. And you may have seen some of the articles in the papers and things like that. And just as a reference, Baltimore County is approximately 48% people of color, which approximately 30%, a little over 30 being Black, and approximately 17%, 18% actually being people of color. And they outsourced to a commission, a group of people designed to create the map. And as an outcome of that commission, the map that was proposed to the commission was a 225 map, is what we'd like to call it. And what that means is you have 9 seats on the commission. On the county council, pardon me. 2 of the seats would have been in majority Black districts. 2 of the seats would have been in majority people of color districts, and the 5 would have been majority white. And so where we have a 48% people of color, we would have had approximately 44% representation, which would have been pretty fair considering our population, right? That was not accepted. And the map that has recently been proposed, there are 2 majority Black districts, 0 people of color, and 7 majority white. And so although we have 48% people of color, we're going to have 22% representation, 2 out of 9 seats, as opposed to 4 out of 9 seats. Mm-hmm. And so I say that to say that this is one of our big issues of our time right now, because what happens on that county council will indeed impact all of us in Baltimore County. Not just the community I live in, which is District 44, the Senator's District, but it's going to impact all of the districts. And so I just wanted to share with you, and I'm happy to send this information. If you want to send me an email, I put my contact information in the chat, but they are having some public hearings. I believe the next public hearing is September the 9th. And I can look it up very quickly for you. September the 9th, I believe it is. And they have to make a decision, I believe, by
September 15th.
Thank you, whoever jumped in. I appreciate it.
This is Margaret. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, hi. It takes 2 to make it happen, doesn't it? Teamwork.
Yeah. I've been sending them the emails and a link with the Baltimore County information so they can go under and follow it.
Amazing. That would be amazing. And there was also Senator Sidnor worked with I want to say the Urban League, and they did a presentation, and I can definitely share some of the information that came out of that presentation for you. But just keeping in mind, we have 9 seats on the county council. The original map that came out of the county commission would have given us majority Black communities 4 out of the 9, which is approximately 44%, which somewhat represents our 48% population. Right now, the map proposal, we will have 22% of the seats, with 78, close to 80% being in historically white districts. And so that is something to be mindful of, especially with the climate that we're in right now as a nation. And so I just thank you all for allowing me to join you all today, and the senators in the same meeting that Delegate McCaskill's in. So I am here to represent, but this was a good opportunity for me to meet you all. So thank you. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much for bringing from Senator Sid North's office. Give him our best.
Thank you. I sure will.
He's very busy. I see him being busy.
Thank you for understanding.
Not a problem.
But
does anyone have anything before we go?
Have a good night, everyone.
Same to you.
Jaquista, when are your newsletters sent out quarterly?
They are sent out quarterly. They should be sent out quarterly, but
I don't think I've received one for a while. That's why I asked.
No one has received one for a while. I think we had a spring. We didn't have we had spring, we didn't have summer. And what was gonna be summer is now fall, and I'm working on that now.
All right, thank you.
I will make sure that you are. I think the list that I've been going off of has been, but I will make sure you get one.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. If no one has anything else, I want to thank you all for.
Hi, Jaquista, I do have one thing.
Yeah.
It's in reference to and I think I'm going to keep repeating this until we at least get this right. So we could eliminate the rodents in our neighborhoods. Please make sure that you're putting your trash in the actual receptacle, enclosing the receptacle. Don't have trash sitting out of it. And if you do, please get a second receptacle so you can put that trash in. And if you are a dog owner and you're walking your dog, please make sure your dog is on a leash. And if your dog is a jumper outside of your yard, please make sure that you take precautions with making sure that your pet is secured in their fence and not out in the alley, roaming in the alleys, or attempting to jump in someone else's yard. Making sure that you are a proper dog owner. Securing the safety of your neighbors that live around you is most important. And two, for the safety of the other animals that are walking about. Even though you may be extremely fond of your pet, other neighbors may not. We don't know the temperament of any animal, and I would not want to walk up or be caught off guard by your animal. So please make sure that you are keeping your dogs, one, on a leash when you're in your neighborhood, not only in your neighborhood, but when you're up walking by the school, because I know it's a gentleman that will allow his pet to walk leash free in the neighborhood, but when they get up to the school, he puts them on a leash. And then if your dog is a jumper outside of your yard, please make sure that you are securing them for the safety of your pet as well as the other pets and their owners. That's all I have.
Okay. I will. Thor and I walk really late at night, and he's not on a leash. The later it is, the more he's not on a leash. But he's doing really good. But yes, I will say I would strongly suggest that people with dogs maybe get a sign to beware of dog or whatever those signs are on your back fence. Because some people's dogs run up to the fence. And if you're walking through the alleyway, it can be a little bit funny and scary at the same time. You know how that works. I want to thank
Or your
everyone.
dog is a jumper out of their fence, out of their yard. So if your dog is a jumper outside of your yard that will try to get into someone else's yard, please secure your animals just for the safety of the other animals out in their own yard, and then if they're in the alley. So it's your responsibility as a pet owner.
Yes. And you good?
I'm good.
Because you know that was my hello neighbor for the newsletter. Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I love the hello neighbor. Yes, hello neighbor. Thank you for sending out the letters, just making us aware of what's going on, and if it's happening to one neighbor, it may be happening to another, and may not be their experiences may not be the experience of all the neighbors. So it's extremely helpful to get the letters out, just notifying us and keeping us abreast of what's going on. Even though we are a part of the board, some things happen different in other on other streets and in other parts of within our area, within our neighborhood. So
Okay. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We will see you all again at 7:30 on October the 7th.
Thank you, ladies.
good
Appreciate it.
night, everybody.
Jaquisa, I sent you a text.
I see.
Okay.
And Jaquista, I'll call you offline about the ribbon cutting for the library, okay?
Okay. Sure.
I'll
Sounds
call
Have
you
a good,
offline.
have a good
Bye.
week.
All right. I'm checking you out now, Miss Bronzella.
Okay.
I'm stopping the recording.
Thank you.